Good morning. Look where I'm at. We're in the RV. We started kind of cleaning it up a little bit. We've been working on it for a couple of days. I've got a lot of garbage out of it, and I've got a lot of things that I think could go to Goodwill or to donations for people to use. So it's been a little challenge getting it all cleaned out. There's been some pretty disgusting things I've come across, but for the most part, I'm just so shocked at how great of condition it is. I'm really impressed, very impressed with this sweet little RV. Today is Saturday, December the 2nd. I am going to give you an update on Bella and my little goats. I know that you need to hear from me. I've read all your sweet comments on my dad's and Jamie's and Lester's and Ellie's page, and I just appreciate all of the kind words and the prayers that have gone out. So here's the whole story. Last Saturday, we were coming home from Uvalde, and I had dropped Robert off at his work to get his car, because that's where we met. I had Bella and I had Dustin's dog, Addie, with me. We dropped Robert off to get his car. Then I took Addie to Dustin's and dropped her off. And then I had to go to Plum Grove and pick up my goats. So Bella is almost 12 years old. So we lived in Plum Grove for like the first 6 years of her life. So she grew up there, you know, on the hill, running around with my boys, back and forth with me. I used to jog that little lap around I'm a Survivor to my mom and dad's, and she used to jog with me. So she's been out there, I mean, a million times. And so she was in the truck. I got out to get the goats. I saw my dad's video where I was picking up the goats, and I saw her walking around in the background of the video out by my dad's barn. So it wasn't unusual. I mean, I didn't realize at the moment she got out of the truck, but it didn't matter. It's fine because she's there all the time. When we go on vacation, I've left Bella with my parents many times. So she's very familiar with that area out there. So at some point, I was in the house, I don't know, getting the food, getting the milk, something. And Bella was outside. And the only person that I think that saw Bella run was Buddy's daughter, Elora. And she notified that Bella had run down the driveway. It had probably only been maybe not even 5 minutes until everyone was on her trail, walking, calling, looking, driving, searching. And it was just like she disappeared into thin air. So, it's been hard for me. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. Elora said that she thought that maybe those Great Danes had scared her off, but they didn't attack her. But she's not usually scared of big dogs, because we had German Shepherds. My father-in-law and mother-in-law, they have big dogs out there in Uvalde. So I don't know what happened. I really don't. I have no idea. And I've literally just racked my brain trying to think about what could have happened. So, and then the point that I'm calling her and she doesn't come to me is like, I can't even fathom. Like, why would she not come to my voice? So Bella's been my little best friend for many, many years. Like, she's never left my side. So let's say almost 12 years. If I take a bath, she lays next to me on the rug. If, you know, I sleep, she sleeps on my pillow next to me. It's just, it's been really hard. So I don't really know what else to say. You know, it's been one of the biggest struggles of my life. I'm not going to lie about that. It's been one of the biggest struggles of my life, the not knowing. Just the not knowing. I've had pets that have passed away. We just talked to you guys about Ollie and Atticus, you know, a little while back. Ollie passed away in September. And as a Christian, in my heart, I say, well, you know what? My dogs are going to be in heaven when I get there. They're going to be there waiting for me when I get there. And I knew that they had an amazing life, that we gave them a great life. They were part of our family and we treated them as such. And so when they pass and I know that they lived a long, full life, then I'm like, okay, well, you know, it was their time to go. And I have a peace, you know, you just have a peace about it. But with Bella disappearing, I have no peace. Like, I cannot find peace in it. And it's just, it's mind-blowing. It's baffling. It's crazy. I've prayed so hard. I've questioned God, like, why are you punishing me through Bella? Like, not through Bella. But then I was thinking that maybe Bella's such a loving, sweet, sweet girl. Maybe someone else needed her. Maybe, you know, maybe somebody had to have picked her up. I think she must have gotten picked up very quickly, which also blows my mind that she would go to somebody so quickly. But there's just no other explanation. Someone may have been leaving a Thanksgiving party. I don't know. And just saw her and grabbed her and went on down the road. Maybe they haven't seen the signs. Maybe they don't know that I'm looking for her. She did not have a collar on. And I beat myself up over that too, because I had just given her a bath when we were in Uvalde and I took her collar off. And so she had no collar on because I just thought we were going home. You know, you ever feel like if I could just go back, like if I could just go back in time a little bit and redo that day or redo those 20 minutes or redo, you know. Definitely would like a rewind on that situation for sure. But I've cried every day this week. I come home, I go to work and, you know, it's like I'm at work and I'm busy and I'm teaching and my kids are, you know, needy and I'm doing my job and I'm okay. And then as soon as I walk in the door in the afternoon, it just hits me like a ton of bricks. And I just cry and I cry and I cry. So, let's talk about the goats. That's another thing. So my goats, you know, they were with my dad for the 5 days we were in Uvalde. My sister and I had talked on the phone a couple of times and she told me, I've never seen Dad as happy as he is with these goats. And she said, especially after Johnny passed, he just sits out there all day with those goats and he holds them and he kisses them and he loves them. And that's what they do to me also. They're amazing little goats. They're not like goats, quite honestly. They're more like little puppies. And so, you know, I said, oh, that's so good. I'm so glad they're having a good time. What happened was those little goats are spoiled, but they got extremely more spoiled spending those 5 days with Pawpaw. So we have a little pen for them in the backyard that we put them in when we're at work during the day. And you know, they have logs in there to play on. They have a little house. They have hay to eat. They have pumpkin seeds I've put out. They have plenty of food. They have things, you know, to play with. Little playground area we created for them. But they want to be with people. They don't want to be in a pen all day. They want to be with people. And they've never had an issue, ever. I get home from work, immediately I feed them and I let them out and I'm with them until dark. And then, you know, I put them back up when I go in the house in the evenings. They go feed the ducks with us and they just, you know, it's been fine. But I think spending those days with my dad, they wanted people all day long. Like, no, we don't want to be in the pen anymore. We need people all day long. So I got home from work on Monday and it was already hard. You know, I'm already just lost. Literally, I'm just going through the motions with Bella in that situation. And people are sending me these pictures of dogs that are not Bella. And they're like wanting me to like give them the reward money. And I'm like, that's not Bella. Like, that's not her. And some of these dogs I think are their own dogs because they have little coats on and little shirts. And I'm like, that's not her. But anyway, so I'm going through that every day. Every day I'm dealing with that. And that's hard enough. Every time I get a text, is this your dog? And I'm like, oh, please, God, please let it be her. And it's not her. So then Bennett's texting me at work on Monday saying the goats keep getting out of their pen. The goats keep getting out of their pen. And I'm like, well, I don't know why. They've been fed. I don't know what's going on with them. So I get home from work on Monday, and you know, I spend the afternoon with the goats, and then I put them back in their pen that night. And then Tuesday, the same thing happened. Bennett starts calling me. He's like, Mom, I got to go to work, and the goats keep getting out. I put them back in, and they're right back out again. So I said, okay, well, can you see how they're getting out? And so he said, they're climbing the fence. They're literally climbing right over the fence. It's a 5-foot tall fence, 5 foot tall, but it's wire, and they're just climbing right over it. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do about that? So, I get home Tuesday, and they were out. Now, we're fenced. We have 2 acres, and it's all fenced. However, in the front is the wrought iron, and it's, you know, spread out. They can walk right through the wrought iron. And the back is field fence that the holes are still big enough that they could walk through. So I was just, when I got home and I saw them out, and they were still in my property, but they were in the front yard where they very easily could get out the front yard easier where the wrought iron is. I just had another breakdown, and I'm like, what am I going to do if I come home and I can't find my goats one day? Like, I literally physically would not be able to take it. So I called my dad, and I said, Dad, I don't think I'm going to be able to keep my goats. And it's not because I don't love them, because I do love them, and they have a good home here. Like, we take good care of them, and we have 2 acres. And we were right here in the back, over winter holidays when Robert had vacation time, we were going to actually build their little pasture back there, and it would be almost an acre-sized pasture for those 2 little minis, and it would be plenty of room for them, and they would be very happy. We already had plans for the little house. We were going to put it up on stilts and have a little, you know, little bridge thing going up to it, and so we'd already had all these plans. But the fact that they're climbing out and we're gone, you know, throughout the day because we both work, I just, and I guess on top of Bella being gone, I just could not live with that, because I'm already beating myself up basically over what happened with Bella. And now I'm like, I can't have it with my goats. So my dad got them. And I'm just sad about all of it. You know, I have a lot of things to be thankful for, and I'm very thankful for so many things, you know, so many things I'm thankful for, but it's just really hard. It's just really hard. And we're a week out now, and I'm kind of losing hope that I'm going to get Bella back. I mean, we've got pillows out that she slept on. I've got pillowcases in the beds that Ellie's got cameras out, and she hasn't been spotted at all in this week, like nothing. The first night, Ellie thought he saw her in the camera, but honestly, I mean, Ellie's so sweet, you know, he's trying, so he put some little food out for her. I don't think it was her, because it was kind of fuzzy, and it looked like this dog had a tail, and Bella had no tail, and it looked, there was a little tail curled on the back. It was a black dog, but it looked a little bigger than Bella, and it like it had a tail, and so I told Robert, I don't think that was her in that camera. And so, I think someone picked her up, and they have her, and I hope that God uses her, you know, to make someone feel good, because she certainly has been a really, great part of my life. So, that's where we're at with that. But I wanted to talk to you and show you my RV this morning, because I'm trying to look on the bright side of everything. Robert and I have been doing little things this week out here to try to, number 1, keep busy, and number 2, just, you know, get it cleaned out. So I'm going to stop talking about the sad things, and I'm going to start showing you some of the things that we've been doing for the last week. All right, there's the bunk beds. There's 3 of them. Couldn't really tell before it was so dark, but there's actually 3 bunk beds. And you can see I've got the lights on. We have it hooked to the battery. The battery's charged and running right now. So all of these cabinets are all cleaned out. Well, I haven't wiped it completely out. I'm going to wash those curtains. You can see this table. I think I'm going to take that table off, and I'm going to make a new countertop with a real thick piece of plywood and stain it I think that'll be nice. We're not going to use it ever for bedding, just to eat on. These cabinets have all been cleaned out. I've started doing a little bit of vacuuming, but I hadn't finished back there yet. But I've vacuumed up in here into the bedroom. I've got trash pile. I've got a Goodwill pile. I'm starting with the kitchen cabinets today. Try to get that cleaned out. That window is cracked and it's been raining, so we have a bag over it. I've got all the bedding out of the bedroom. You can see the mattress. Now, Robert and I want to turn this into a king, and we actually have a really nice king mattress that my uncle gave me, one of those purple mattresses. So I have it in my guest room right now, and I think that maybe with a little help from Sister Kim, we're going to figure out how we can turn this into a king. I don't think it'll be hard to do because, you know, Kim can do all things. This cabinet has been cleaned out. The bathroom, I've started a little bit in the bathroom, but not too much. With all this rain, the only leak in the whole RV is this skylight leaks. But, praise you, Jesus, it leaks right into the bathtub. So, or the shower. So, that's fine. So, yeah, these are just some things. You can see it's kind of cleared out some now. I found these magazines from 2003. I think that must be the year of the RV, 2003. So it looks, you guys can see, it's actually in pretty good condition. Like, all the walls are nice. Like, the upholstery is really nice. These chairs are actually in really great condition. So I'm really proud of that. It's just really coming along. I'm actually so excited. Here comes my worker bee.
Hey guys, so we're going to discuss some of the things that we've got done so far. And the one thing, come on over here. So when we hooked up the other day to my buddy Derek's truck, we're having problems opening and closing the collar right here. And after further investigation, I realized this little lip right here from, I guess, people loading it, and probably mostly just loading, not so much unloading, but they bent it, and that was the reason this collar would not open and close. So I had to bend it down a little bit. I added some grease to it, and now it works with no problem. It's two-handed. Look at that. Before, now I got grease all over my finger. Before it was, I mean, we couldn't move. We were trying to hit it with the sledgehammer.
Yeah, I think they can hear that banging in that other video. Bang, 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 when they were trying to close it.
Yeah. So I got that taken care of. And then when we opened the slide over here, it was really difficult for the slide itself to come open. And I got underneath there and looked, and I noticed the slide bars, I guess you'd call them, they were very rusty. So I went ahead and greased those also. And there's another one on the other side. And I greased the gear also. So, is that you stopped?
No, you're still on.
Oh, I'm still on? Okay. So, the other day here, north of Houston, we got quite a bit of rain. And so what I did is when I got home from work, I went inside the RV to check for leaks, because that'd be perfect time to check for leaks because it's raining. And the only leak we found was a skylight that was leaking, but thank God the skylight was literally right above the shower. So it was just leaking from the skylight down into the shower pan. So thank God that's the only leak we found. So my next job is going to take the skylight off and then put some new silicone on it and then reattach it. So my next project is going to be, I'm going to go ahead, if you notice, the awning is in really bad shape up there. So I'll probably just go ahead and take off the awning, because we're going to have this, when we build our cover, it's going to be underneath, so it's actually going to be kind of useless. So I'm just going to take these completely off. And then also, I'm still haven't found the breaker box for the RV, and I've been trying to Google that lately, because my buddy Sloan, he told me if you find the breaker box, it'll let you know if it's a 30 amp RV or a 50 amp RV. So I need to go on to a Laredo by Keystone website, pull up the owner's manual. You know, they always have the owner's manual on PDF or whatever nowadays, and find out exactly where, because I've been looking and find the RV looking for the breaker box and I haven't been able to find it yet. So that would be my next thing. And when I find out whatever 30 or 50 amp, that's when I'm going to come on over here. I'm gonna replace that light too. That's real simple, a light cover. But I'm gonna tackle that. Oh, you know what? It says right here, 30. Never mind. I didn't realize it actually says it right there.
Oh, that's so good.
I didn't realize that, guys.
All right, thank you, guys, because if we weren't making this video, he might not have noticed it.
Yeah, so it is a 30 amp. But it doesn't say 30 amp, though. It says 20HZ30. Oh, amp.
Yeah,
supply, yeah.
30 amp supply.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I was thinking that it should say, like, right next to the 30.
It's just underneath it.
Underneath it, yeah. So I know it's a 30 amp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crawl under here and somehow or another get this panel off. And it's probably, I'm sure it's going to be almost like when you hook up a dryer at your house. You got to take the dryer off, and you'll find where the lead goes to it. Unscrew those, give me another 30 amp pigtail. Of course, not for a dryer, for an RV. I'm gonna get a 30 amp pigtail for the RV and rerun it. And then after that, I'm gonna have to figure out to get the supply from my house over here, or invest in buying me another Honda generator. I have a small Honda generator, and if you get a second one, a companion, I can have 2 Honda small generators to run the RV. So it might be, I don't know, would it be more practical to get another Honda? That'd be about $600 or $700 investment, or spend the amount of money to run a cord, because our breaker is clear on
on the other side of the house.
So I'm sure that cord is going to be very expensive to run all the way around over there.
Yeah.
So, but if we do get a cord, that means if somebody shows up, we have.
Yeah, you have it.
Yeah.
And you're not running your generators all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
what I did one time, to let you guys know, is when we put the house in, I actually have a pipe
that comes over here to the edge.
Comes all the way over here, so I can drop my septic.
Yeah.
In the
It's right there close to that little spout right there.
Yeah.
Somewhere right there, the pipe ends with the cap on it for a sewer if we had an RV parked here, because it's always been our dream and our goal to get one. We just haven't, 2 kids in college, it's not easy.
Right. We're just not that right now to buy. Like I said in the last video, you gotta have at least a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton truck. So we haven't invested in that large a truck to pull this size of RV.
Yeah.
So.
Well, your dad did, he ran a wire, like a regular wire, and made like a little box out there where your sister's RV's parked in Uvalde. So we could do that. Like put a little box over here on the edge of the house somewhere.
I was thinking, I've got wire left over. See, guys, I don't know if I said this in the video before, but because I got power to my little barn, I went ahead ran electricity from the side of my house down to the barn, and then all the way down to the pond. Can you see down there? Zoom down. Can you zoom all the way there? There's actually a breaker box way down there, and that's how we run the cross, the electricity for the cross.
It's right. Put your finger and point at it.
Okay, I can't. No,
right here.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. It's that white dot on that.
Let me see my finger. Oh,
no, right.
Oh, no, my finger got
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay.
It's that white box on that fence post. You can see it way down there.
So I've got some wire left over in my barn. It might be enough to run there. Let's go look real fast.
Okay.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough wire. I went to the barn over there. Didn't have enough wire. So we're going to have to think of something else. Also, I'm going to try to fix that window up there. There's a little crack on there. It looks like the glass slid down. It's not actually like the glass is broken.
Yeah,
so we're going to investigate that. And then also, I'm going to give her a bath here pretty soon. Is that what I was talking about?
We still have a couple of Uvalde videos
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
be coming out. There's one visiting with Grandpa, and then there's one just kind of showing you guys the river and kind of some little just driving around, showing you some different things. So those will be coming out probably next weekend. And then Robert made pecan candies. That's going to be coming out soon.
Oh, yeah, it was so good too.
So good. Well, thank you for visiting with us this morning and
Thank you.
listening to our little updates and what's going on here and there with the RV and with our other situations.
And we appreciate all the comments. We
Yes,
try to
thank you.
answer as many as we can, but sometimes they're just overwhelming.
And all the prayers. Thank you.
And all the
very
prayers,
much.
yes.
I'm Tina.
And I'm Rob.
We're
We're
living
living off the hill.